So, as you may or may not know, I recently just moved out of the city of Chicago where I was living for 7+ years. And I moved to a small town, and I've found that as someone who struggles with depression and anxiety, that moving to a small town has been a really helpful move for me. And I just wanted to share a little bit how living in a city can be really difficult for your mental health. Something that I've noticed since I ended up moving to a smaller town is that the people around me seem so much happier. And it's really interesting to me that people can be so happy living in a place where there's not necessarily that much to do except for be with the people around you and be spending time in nature and focusing on yourself. But the people here seem to have such a true happiness that comes from within that it really inspires me, because it's made me notice that you don't really have to make yourself happy based on your surroundings and the things that you're able to do in a big city. And living in a small town, I've been able to spend so much more time with nature, so much more time with myself, and getting to do things that feed my inner child and heal my inner child. I'm able to focus on my goals and just have less distractions around me. So I'm really able to focus on the true things that will help me become who I really want to be and achieve so many of the goals that I have by having more time and more money and energy by living in a place where it's cheaper and there's less things to do but focus on yourself. So I'm officially moved into my new apartment in a new city. Like I said, I moved into a small town, and I just want to talk a little bit about the different phases of life and why you may choose a big city for one era of your life and a small town for another one. And like I said, I lived in the city of Chicago for the past 7 years, and I truly lived like to the fullest while I was there. Like I just did as much as I could and literally just gave my fullest energy to that city and just experienced it all, to the point where I became very exhausted of the city life, and I just felt like the energy was extremely heavy there, and I was just going through a lot of mental health issues. And now that I'm in this smaller town and in my new apartment, I just feel so much more clear. And I think because I did experience that city life to the fullest, that's why I'm craving this smaller town life. And so it really depends on what phase of your life you're in for why you may choose to go one route or the other. But for me, this era that I'm in right now, I just really want to focus on myself, especially since I'm recently single, and I literally just want to put all my energy into like how I look, how I feel, how I act, what I'm giving back to other people, focusing on my goals. So I just needed a small town where there's not a lot of distractions. And while I'm here, I've just noticed that it's so much easier to focus on like the small like beauties of life. Like literally the only thing there is to look at sometimes is the sky, but like you just see how pretty the sky is, and it really like limits your world and forces you to like see the beauty in every small little moment. And I just feel like it makes the people here happier. I don't know. But I wanted to read this quote that I found the other day, and I feel like it perfectly exemplifies kind of like what I'm going through right now and how I've been feeling. So I just wanted to read it to you because maybe you might identify with it too. So it says, "You may believe that living life to the fullest is seeing every country in the world and quitting your job on a whim and falling recklessly in love. But it's really just knowing how to be where your feet are. It's learning how to take care of yourself, how to make a home within your own skin. It's learning how to build a simple life you are proud of. A life most fully lived is not always composed of the things that rock you awake, but those that slowly assure you it's okay to slow down. That you don't always have to prove yourself. that you don't need to fight forever or constantly want more, that it's okay for things to be just as they are. Little by little, you will begin to see that life can only grow outward in proportion to how stable it is inward. That if the joy is not in the little things first, the big things won't fully find us. And that is exactly the phase I'm in my life right now. Like, I'm just slowing down and exploring my inner world so much, because I just think that's as much of a part of life as exploring the world and all there is around you. But I just think when you focus on yourself and you create that space to do so, you can really experience like daily life in such a magical way. And that's what I'm going to be working on this year in my new city. So definitely subscribe if you're interested in learning more about my journey. And thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.